All right, well, I am now here at the parking area for the Appalachian Trail off of US 40. In the distance, I don't think you can see, but you can probably hear I-70. We're just to the east of Hagerstown, Maryland. My backpack is probably overfilled at this point. No, I'm not taking the rolling pack. Had some anxieties today, I guess, looking at the mountains as I've been driving east, and especially driving out of Hagerstown. I was coming up US 40 and I was like, what on earth have I gotten myself into? So I don't think I've packed too many of my fears. I have a water bottle for cooking water, a water bottle for drinking water. I have a water bottle with some vitamin water that I got on a deal at a Sheetz convenience store. It was one of those buy two for $3 things, and I'll use that as a pee bottle tonight. And I kind of agonized over it for a few minutes. I really want to take my hammock. There's no rain in the forecast today or tomorrow, at least not before I'm going to get out of the hammock tomorrow. But I'm just a little nervous about the hammock, so I'm taking my solo backpacker tent. So in a few moments, first steps on the Appalachian Trail. And so, having just come down the approach trail, saw my first blue blaze, now my first white blaze. Annapolis Rocks is 2.2 miles to my north, Washington Monument is 3 miles to my south, and there's the footbridge. It's time for a first step onto the Appalachian Trail. I decided to come and hit this footbridge because in his book, Hiking Through, Paul Stutzman talks about an experience where he was walking over a footbridge. I think he was walking over the Massachusetts Turnpike, but it gave him some perspective. When I read about this setup, I knew I had to actually come over here and start. Didn't realize it was going to be that easy, though. So, looks like I'm about 1,200 feet elevation, give or take. I'm probably 30 foot above the road. It's time to head on up the trail. All right, so I'm about half a mile in. I am at the Pine Knob shelter side trail. So I could take off that way to go to the shelter or start uphill to get to Annapolis Rocks. It's really, there's a pleasant breeze coming through, and I'm sweating like crazy. It's been a while since I've been on a trail. I'm feeling a lot like I did when I did Iron Mountain out in California. So I know I can do that. So onward I go. Me, my pack, and my probably overloaded pack, and my trekking poles. So according to Siri, I've ascended maybe about 220 feet up the trail. And the guides all say, and the maps all say, this here is really the steepest portion of this hike. looking ahead, I am going to have to be honest, I'm a little intimidated by what I see up there. But onward we go. Well, according to the map, I got about a mile to go. I'm up at 1,600 feet in elevation, and I had to get the pack off of my back. I do think I've made the choice that for the future, before I do another backpacking trip, I'm going to have to go and be fitted for a real backpack, that not something from Meyer. So pack is kind of cutting into my shoulders, making it really hard to keep it up on there, and I keep running into I'm missing the little connector strap. I can still barely hear I-70 in some of the hollows. The dips, I've not heard it, but I can still hear a little bit of the highway. I'm hoping by the time I get to Annapolis Rocks that'll be gone. All right, time for a snack. Well, after a snack break, it's time to continue on up the trail. If we can't wrap this little run up here. There you are, White Blaze. Well, here we are. The turnoff of the Annapolis Rocks campground and trail. Gonna go down that way. The AT continues north to Katahdin, or south back to where my car, I-70, eventually to Springer Mountain. I did not make record time, but I'm a quarter of a mile. All right, so it's a little bit after 4 in the afternoon, and I'm here at the Annapolis Rocks Backpack Campground. Here's the Blue Blaze. It's a little loop trail. Heads off into the woods here. And here we have a bear pole. There are several sites back here to camp on. There's 3 group sites for groups of 10 or more. Then there's individual or very small group sizes, or sites, I should say. And as we come through here, I elected to pick site number 2 tonight. I did go down a little bit further down the trail. This appears to be the flattest area, and so here I am. I'm gonna go down and get some water now and then head out to Annapolis Rocks. And at the end of the Blue Blaze Trail, one quite enticing Appalachian spring. It looks like there may even be another source up there somewhere of water, but we're gonna go with this one. And we're gonna fill up from there. And what can I say? After a long hike, this is Annapolis Rocks in Maryland. Sun's out. It's a very nice light breeze blowing through up here. Because I have vertigo, I'm not going to be getting too close to the edge. There are just some stunning views, and I think it's made all the more sweet by just knowing the accomplishment. Got my water here. There's the way back up to the campground. Pine growing right here. This is what makes hiking worth it. So my plan for tonight is that I am going to head back and set up camp. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to make me some dinner. I decided to come out a little bit further. Got my trekking pole here. There's a lake off in the distance. There's more of those pine trees. The sun is just kind of peeking and poking. Don't know if you can see it. There's a bird out there. Can't tell what kind. Even with the signs of civilization, it's still beautiful. That's weird. I'm pretty sure those are little orange mushrooms back there. Not planning to eat them, but all right, so I am in and set up at camp. I've got to get a few things put away, obviously. So I'm at camp spot 2 near the bear pole and everything else. That's weird to say. I'll give you a look at my sleeping setup for tonight. This is an Ozark Trail backpacking tent. And inside I have a Big Agnes Aircore Ultra, a Nature Hike pillow, and a Ozark Trail 40-degree bag that I'll just use as a quilt tonight. I'm guessing I'm going to be pretty warm. So now this tent does have a full fly. Last time I checked the forecast, the low is supposed to be like, well, it was supposed to be like 71 or 72. My guess is it might go a little lower than that. I'm going to say maybe 59 or 60. So I'm not going to put the fly on. there's no rain in the forecast until sometime later tomorrow. I will check the forecast again before I go to bed, just make sure. Last thing I want to do is 2 o'clock in the morning, try to put a fly on when it's pouring down rain. So I have it very lightly staked out. I kind of got it in the flattest and non-rockiest portion. You can kind of see around here, if you look at the ground, there are little rocks everywhere, which is to be expected in a site like this. And you can't really see it, but the privy is off that way. And Annapolis Rocks is off in that direction. All right, well, it's time to start thinking about where I'm gonna hang things, what I'm gonna hang, what I'm gonna put in my dry sack to hang up as beer bag. And then it's time to think about heading back out to the rocks for dinner. All right, so dinner tonight, slight change in plan. I'm gonna cook it here and then take it back out to the rocks, but I'm having backpacker pantry fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. And so here we've got water that we're gonna boil. Open my gas valve here real quick. Sorry about that. Oh, a little much. And there we go. A little backpacker stove away. So I use a Sterno brand self-igniting backpacking stove with the Primus gas tank. So this is gonna boil. Needs to sit for about 13 minutes. In that time, I'll kind of finish up my camp layout. I'll start soaking dinner. And then in a few moments, that bottle of vitamin water that's hiding away there is gonna join me. We're gonna head back out to the rocks for sunset. All right, as Shug would say, that's a pretty boil. So we're gonna take that off and shut down our stove. And we'll get dinner going. I figured I should try this before dark. So here's my little bear bag. All right. So up that way, it says there's a campground host, but I didn't see anybody when I called out earlier. There may be, there may not be. Here's the trail out here at Annapolis Rocks. Rocky. Some erosion control. And out here, they really appreciate it when you use the privy, an outhouse. So that's what we're gonna do. I've never been into one. It has a skylight. That's interesting. There you go. There's how you do your business at Annapolis Rocks. So here we are. Sunset. In the distance you can hear the trees rustling. The crickets are already out. Dinner. Prayer book. And that's my treat for tonight. I'm guessing the last day hikers have gone home. I don't see anybody. Heard the last group leave maybe about 20 minutes ago. Definitely want to look though about the weather. I'm not feeling this. I'm a little concerned I may need to put the rain fly on. We'll see. I've got good reception out here, so I think I can check the weather. You can hear I-70 off in the distance. All right. My basic message to whoever makes backpackers pantry and other things, I don't know. I didn't really need the red pepper. I'll give it a try. So given the thickness of the clouds out there, I'm guessing that's it for me and the sun today. Start to see some lights twinkling off in the distance. I think this is where I'm going to sign off for the night. Catch you back in the morning. Good night to you all from Annapolis, Rocks, Maryland. Well, it's about, I don't know, I guess about 9 o'clock in the evening. Hadn't fallen asleep yet. If I'd come back and see what it looks like to look out over a valley at night. I'm guessing you're probably not able to see much. I have no idea what those things are. But the skies have cleared a bit. And there are stars. And the forest is alive.